Now, I think that might have been absolute perfect timing for me to finish my sentence, because I believe we're just about ready to get started. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over in just a second to see Junior run SSX Trilogy. I think you're ready, Junior. Take it away. Let's see these all tracks.
Alrighty. Hi, hello. I'm Junior, and I'm going to be doing not just one, not two, but 3 games. Well, all 3 classic SSX games, the most iconic ones. I'm going to be doing a run of all tracks, a category I came up with in which I do exactly that, all the tracks. I'll get to explain it more in depth as we go deeper into it, but for now it's a good summary. I do know there was a bid war, but I do not know who won between Max, Zoe, and Kaori.
Let me do a quick refresh just to check no one sniped it. It's Zoe. Zoe was the clear winner here.
Alrighty.
Everyone had opinions for Zoe today.
Well, she is optimal in OG, okay. This one, and one of the optimal ones in 3, so she's a good choice.
That works in our favor.
Alrighty, I'll give a countdown and I'll get into it. 3, 2, 1, start. Alright, so I'll start with introducing OG. It's the first game in the series. It's different from the rest in that since they were still getting their bearings, it's like a 2000, a year 2000 launch title. There are no uber tricks. There's no like infinite boost or anything like that. Not like tricky. It's more like standardized, just like standardized boarding and whatnot. Something you'll notice right off the bat is that I'm going to be doing a lot of tricks. The gist of this game, the gist of this series really, is like the crux that tricks equals boost and boost equals speed. So you'll see me continuously do lots of tricks so that I can maintain some high boost, and then I'll use that boost to like, ideally red boost. I'm going to keep it red boost as much as I can so that I can go as fast as I can. And they'll also be holding the straightest lines possible as well. As you see right here, there's ice. There's a couple different terrain in this game. There's like snow, standard snow. There's ice, which loosens your handling a little bit, but makes you go much faster. And there's powder, which does the opposite. It tightens your handling just a little bit, but it makes you go slower. And you'll see me do bunny hops like this right here, where like I jump inside them, like inside powder, because if I don't, your board and your border will like start to submerge inside. And I'll be using that, anytime I'm in any powder, I'll be using bunny hops, as I like to call them, to help maintain the speed I have. Likewise, when I'm on ice, I'm going to be tap boosting, which is, well, exactly as it sounds. I'm just tapping the boost button in order to maintain the boost level I have. Because, like, as long as I'm going max speed, then I'll be able to, like, tap boost and maintain the speed, but also keep a good boost level. That's a pretty good start. Pretty decent snow dream on 3x. What's it called? Each time I finish a track, especially in OG, I have to do this. I have to menu out, and then, like, do all the menuing back into the next track in single event. Next is Elysium Alps. It's a big, long, pink French mountain. One of my favorite tracks in this game. Also, the longest track. And it'll start to show off some select warps, which is when I hit select, and then I get sent, if I do it in the right spot, like, that's the button to, like, warp out if you make a mistake or anything like that. If I press it in the right spots, then I'll get chucked very far forward in the track. And this is something that you'll see me exploiting throughout the entire run, really. Each game's got dozens of them. Oops. Here's one right here, literally at the start. Do some hops and then warp, and then I just get sent all the way forward, skip a huge downhill section. Oops. Okay, we're fine. as I said, this is like the longest track, and it's got a lot of like minute tech and whatnot that's like really helped it become very, very optimized as an IL. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that upper path. And then there's a straightaway right here. I'm just going to just go over that entire hill. While I have time real quick, I'll explain a little bit more of all tracks and how I envisioned it. So, the idea is to get all like go through all the tracks, like all of like the actual like tracks you can play on. Just squeezing the warp right there. If it's possible to get a medal, then ideally that's what I will be doing, which means that in tracks like Pipe Dream, which I'll get into in a second, like near the end of OT, as I like to call this game, you'll see that I'm going to like be going for show-off gold, because that's like the only gold offered in that track. And for Untracked in OT and Tricky, I'm just going to go for completing it at all. That's fine. Squeeze out 360.
Just a casual 360.
Yeah, you know, I get to spam them a lot in this game.
Oh, we're going through
like, unironic. Oh yeah, there's.
Oh.
I like.
Health and safety! I'm joking, sorry.
I'm so used to it, I don't even pay it any mind. But yeah, you can just squeeze in through the crowd right there and do like what I call a force warp.
I love it.
Yeah. And then right here is just a long straightaway. Well, the rest of the track is really just long straightaways with hat boosting throughout it. I'll leave this some time for you to talk, since I've been talking non-stop.
You're more than welcome to talk non-stop. That's what we're here for. We're watching your run. I'm loving it, by the way. This is gonna make me sound as old as I am, okay? But when I was younger, when my mum and dad used to go to the travel agents, and they used to book a holiday, because, you know, before the internet, there used to be like a massive machine of this game, or something very similar snowboarding game, and it's just taking me back. So I'm loving this, Junior. I'm loving this. I feel like I'm reliving.
That's awesome.
My past. But
I do know that this series has had like one or two like plug and play machines and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised. And it was an
actual like snowboard that used to done, and like. Well, not a real one, of course, but yeah, like one that you control the game with. So I'm reliving my past here. I'm loving it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've never seen it. Like, I've never owned it, but I've seen that around.
I'm glad. It makes me feel less old. Thank you. Oh, is this a good time to actually remind people of the charity we've got today?
Oh, yes.
So, like, it's a good point here. So, founded on September the 6th, 2014, Somos Familia Vaya is a community dedicated to support, empower, train, and mobilize their families and allies for racial, gender, environmental, and economic justice. Somos Familia Vaya promotes LGBTQ affirming homes, safer schools, healthier communities through our values, a commitment to being our authentic selves, community compassion and integration, family courage, intersectionality and cultural humility. So if you are interested in donating and helping us raise money for that fantastic action point donating chat, don't forget to check out those polls as well. And remember, if you're voting on a poll where you are nominating a trainer name or a Starmie name, to put it in your donation. Thank you, Junior.
No
I'm
problem.
talking forever
Be sure
now.
to get those donations in. Alright. Well, I'll use this chance to introduce Mercury City. This is like one of the hardest tracks in OG, and part of it is because, well, all of it rather, is because when you're like making your like first ever like extreme snowboarding game, there are bound to be like a couple like small duds in track design, and this section right here is unfortunately one of them. It's really hard, so let me focus for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, we got it.
Nice.
There we go. That as I like to call it, oh, I missed the rail. I'll just get back up there. But as I like to call it, the donut rail section, because you're going through all those donut side rails. I'll just go around the regular way because I thought no momentum. But that section is like the hardest intended section of the game, without a doubt. They're like, the rails do not like comfortably lead into each other, so you have to do a lot of adjustment and like a lot of praying, because also the rails, I have failed to mention it in this game, but the rails in this game are very janky, very, very janky. You'll see more of it in Mesa Blanca, which is actually the next track, unless I play well, so hopefully not, but generally speaking, yeah, generally speaking, the rails are just very, hitboxes are like either really big or really small. Sometimes you'll hit them when you're not touching them. You know, just a lot of things that you'd expect from like the first game in the series.
Yeah, they look a bit finicky. A bit hard. It's hard to... Very quick comment in chat as well. And I think like a bit of snowboarding in the middle of August.
Oh, I still got it!
Oh, nice.
There's a select warp where I had to go onto the top of a building, and I missed it. I just warped anyway, and I still got the warp.
Let's go! Thank you, game!
That's that marathon luck.
Yeah. It can go one of two ways, and I always like it when it goes the good way.
Exactly. Alrighty. Next is Mesa Blanca. As I said, this is like a track heavily influenced by like canyons and like it's like a big sunset in a canyon. So there are lots of trees, lots of rocks, a couple mine shortcuts, like minecart shortcuts. There's quite a lot going on here, and it's very tight, but it's also a pretty fun track when you manage to get it all. Hopefully I can show it off well.
Of course you will. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Well, I'm glad. There's still plenty more SSX left in this run, so...
What made you...
Which also leaves lots of times to do donations, too. Oh, no, you're good.
What made you, like, start speedrunning this game, Junior?
Okay,
oh, sorry.
Let's see. So I'm just thinking, sorry. But, honestly... I don't have any like truly bombastic origin story or anything.
It doesn't have to be. The origin story never has to be huge.
All it is that this series is one that I played a ton since I was young. Yeah. Like, I adored it a ton, and then like I forgot about it for a little while. I always like to revisit it when here and there, enough that like I have some friends who would like to tease me for how much I played it before I was a speedrunner of it. And eventually, like, this was like a year and some months ago now, I saw OG again, this game. I just saw it, I was looking at the leaderboards, and I was just like, oh yeah, you know, this is like a game, a racing game that I loved a lot, that doesn't really have like a lot of optimization relative to like SSX Tricky and 3. I was just like, okay, why don't I just learn it? And everything just kind of fell through from there. I just started learning the other ones, I started participating in marathons.
Yeah.
I just really started to like give my all to this series, and I couldn't be happier.
No, I'm really glad. I think a lot of speedrunners can relate to like having a game as a child or playing it as a child and then coming back to it and then eventually ending up speedrunning it. It seems like a little routine. I know that a few speedrunners, it almost makes me very happy. It's a nostalgic kind of connection to it.
Oops. Okay, this is a section that shows off the jankiness of this game's rails. If I can get up. If I can't get on it, I'll just go, like, jump over it. Okay, alright.
It happens?
Yeah, no, I can't, like, I literally don't even get upset when I fail rails in this game, because, like, everyone who's played this game competitively knows that, like, the rails are a huge, like, run killer, so... Oh, that was sick, though. Alright. There we go. That's Mesa Blanca. And now, we go on to Tokyo Megaplex, which is one of my favorite tracks in this game specifically. Like, OG's version of Tokyo is like... This was like the first track I ever, like, grinded seriously. Like, one of the first I ever held any records in, even. It's just like when I hold
Yeah.
you. Now, there are a couple things I want to explain going into this. First, if you might have noticed, anyone might have noticed, I have only 2 borders, myself and Hero, the other one. The reason is because of this track, and to get into that more, the reason is because this track is heavy on RNG. There's tons of it. So, right out the gate, and I mean that literally, there's a fan right there. It's just sitting there. Alright, there, I got a good start boost.
Nice.
That's just when you rock your border forward at the right timing. But yeah, the fan can send you anywhere from left, right, center. It can send you up onto the rails, which is also good. Ideally, I want to be sent out to the left side rails, but you can make other exits work, obviously. There's a warp right here, and then there's this button. I want that button to stay down. I don't want Hero to hit it on the next 2 laps. There are also those doors. As you can see, they can swing closed on you. I was just not far enough to the right, so I unfortunately got hit. But there's still more. There are these bumpers, and then there are these sliding doors.
Oh my gosh, it's like a Fall Guys level.
It is.
It's like a pinball machine. I love it.
It is. That's exactly what it is, actually. And there are 2 laps to go. This is the only track in the game that has laps.
Nice.
So we do it 2 more times.
I can see why you like this one. I really like this one just from seeing it now. It looks really fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It feels very whimsical and like it's not serious whatsoever, and I think that's exactly what this game is.
I know I mentioned Fall Guys, but like Fall Guys, Mario Kart, any of the above, you'd expect to see almost. It's awesome. I love it.
Alright. Squeeze out a trick there. And then this track makes use of heavy tap boosting at the end, like here. The best way to conserve my red boost is to just tap boost this long straightaway up until I get to the rail. Alright.
One more.
One more. Yeah. This is a really good spot, actually. This is like an optimal exit from Fan, actually. Okay, Hero managed to hit the buttons that made those switches go up both laps 2 and 3. So we unfortunately didn't get the best RNG for this Tokyo.
We've all still been enjoying it though.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So, funny thing about that right there, there was a short time where me and Kellicat, who's like the overall like best SSX player I'd say, and has taught me like everything I know. So shout out to him. There was a time where we were grinding this track and like we used to think that that purple rail, like jumping up to that purple rail through the platform was actually optimal. So we kept trying for it, but it's so difficult to consistently do, so
it's almost like not worth the grind to try and get it consistent if it's not saving that much or anything.
And on top of that, it really just wasn't as fast as just jumping through those ridges, so. Alright. Now, there's a clip here. I like to call it the Kool-Aid Man. There's a wall clip. I'll give it a couple tries. I'll go like 3 tries. If I don't get it, I'll just continue. But like, there's a wall clip right at the start. If I get it, I can just like fall. Literally just fall through like a section of the track and skip like, I would say like 7 to 8 seconds.
Nice.
Let's see. Not quite. That was the right spot, but it's also a bit reliant on luck. Because, like, you can get the right spot, but it could also just push you out. Like that!
Nice.
That's what you want to see.
Oh, well done.
It just work, and then... There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
That was nice, well done.
Thank you. Oh.
That didn't happen, don't worry.
Yeah, that didn't happen. But I got the coolest thing that I wanted to show off in OG at large, so I'm content.
Good. I think we should start a $5 donation train to get everybody to vote for their favourite place of where they would snowboard if it was covered in snow. I saw a couple of people posting talking about, snowboarding in the middle of August. But let's say if you could cover any place with snow, go snowboarding, where would it be? Get those $5 donations in chat. I'd love to read them out. !donate.
Yeah, that's not a lot of money to be able to support a good cause and share your favorite tracks.
Sure.
There are so many, so you're gonna have a lot of choices. Oh no!
Oh, oops.
That's okay. I've never quite failed that in that way before, but there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, and it's a marathon, so it's like we hit the
yeah, you know.
First time you've ever done something in a marathon. Always happens.
There are quite a few of those in this Aloha. There's like hitting one of those small bumpers that pushed me super far, and that. But I cannot be mad. I'm just happy I got the Kool-Aid Man, the wall clip. Alright. That's all of the racetracks in this game, but as I said, I'm doing every track. So, now I'm going into Pipe Dream, and this is not a racetrack, this is a show-off track. The gist of it is getting a high score, so that's exactly what I'm going to set out for. I'm gonna get the gold on it ASAP.
I like it.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, I like it, I'm excited. It sounds good.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm just too excited to contain my excitement.
I feel you there. So, I'll say like SSX Tricky, for those who know it. It has like all the tracks in this game are also in Tricky, and then they added a couple more. This version of Pipe Dream is very simple, very standard, but those who have like watched my streams, oh that's okay, I missed the times, the snowflakes. Those who have watched my streams know that like Tricky's version of Pipe Dream is like a huge killer, a run killer. So we'll see how it treats me. But all it's yes. You see all these snowflakes. They all have like different score multipliers, as you can see. The yellow ones do ×2, green does ×3, and red does ×5. But that's why they're the most elusive.
What console was this game originally on, Junior?
There we go. I just want to make sure I got that. No, you're good. This run basically over. This game was, like, the first one anyway, was originally, like, only on, what's it called? PS2, the console I'm playing on.
Okay, got you.
But SSX Tricky was on PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube.
Oh wow!
And
they ventured out.
And it got a Game Boy Advance for it.
Nice.
And then SSX 3, was on PlayStation 2. Largely the same consoles. PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, GBA port, and then it also got like a port to the Xbox One.
Ah. That's awesome. I like when it starts on a console and then ventures out. More people, more fans, more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Now speaking of fun, this is my favorite track in the game, Untracked. The reason is, it's like a free roam track, so to speak. It's like a victory lap. Once you're done with like all the events in like the world circuit, you unlock it, and it's not tied to free ride or show off. I mean, it's not tied to racing or show off. It's a total free ride track, but the way I like to take it is racing down it, obviously.
It's the most fun.
It has a couple select warps, and it's all powder. Like, there's no snow or ice, so like there's very little of those, I should say. So like the entire gimmick is like going down an entirely uncharted mountain, and using your like skills with like bunny hops, as you see me doing a lot of, to like optimize your times, ride over big hills, and like go as fast as you can. Very skill intensive IL, easily my favorite one to do. Alright, such as right there. Not the best landing area, but like I'm doing jumps so that I land over like the biggest part of the ramps, like the parts that send me the highest upwards. You'll see me try for it again right here. Yeah, something like that's pretty good too.
Nice.
Even. Oh yeah, that can happen.
You just clip through the tree.
Welcome to OG. There's another warp right here. Alright. Do a big jump here to go over that and get more boosts. And since the end is coming up, I like to wait for the results screen to show what time I got, and then I'm going to switch games.
Nice. What, have you got a favourite of the three games, by the way, Junior?
I honestly feel like I kind of... It's a hard question, because I honestly sometimes feel like I don't. Because, like, OG, while it's, like, the least mechanically solid, it's one I have the most nostalgic bias towards. And also, just the aesthetic is one that I, like, really like.
Yeah.
And also, the track design is arguably my favorite.
Nice.
Here we go. 2:53. Okay. That's a pretty solid time.
It's awesome.
Alright, and while the game is switching,
Is this a good time for me to jump in?
Yeah, actually.
Awesome. I thought it might be for some reason. So, while Junior is swapping over games, how lucky are we to be able to see a trilogy here, by the way? Very exciting. Just wanted to remind you of our fabulous incentives that we have open. So there's a couple of incentives that require you to put your donation in your comment, put the name of what you're after in the comment. So we've got some wonderful polls for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee where you get to choose a trainer name. We also have a Let's Go Pikachu Eevee Star Me name choice, again, where you put the name that you choose in your donation comment. And a third one, a starter name. You get to name the starter. And again, that's all through putting it in your comments. Now, I do have a sneaky donation. I think I might squeeze one in while Junior's getting all set up. We have a $5 donation from Anonymous that says, amazing gameplay so far. I'd love to go snowboarding right now. Me too, Anonymous. Me too. And they've put that money towards the Target, the Fez Sonic Sprite replacement, and also the Pikachu choice on the poll. The one poll that we have that is not one where you need to type into the comments. It's just to choose the Pokemon Puzzle Challenge Pokemon choice. So at the moment, Pikachu is winning. Thank you for starting us off on the $5 train as well, Anonymous. How you getting on, Junior? Are you ready? Are we off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was quick.
Okay. I want to continue explaining what I love about each game while also explaining this one. But that's easy because there's a lot I love about this game. So, SSX Tricky, it's largely very similar to OG, but it has tighter turning mechanics. It's got obvious Uber tricks. It's got knockdowns, which you saw me do just there. You can hit people to get instant full boost, and then that you use that a lot for routing in ILs and whatnot, as you can imagine. And it's got infinite boosts. this game handles a lot better. Like, I love OG to death, but like, even though this game was released just a year after, you could tell that they knew a lot more of like how to like handle rails, turning, even some track design, which is why I think this game is like extremely strong on its own right too.
Yeah.
And then SSX3, which you'll see more of later, obviously. It's probably like objectively the pinnacle in regards to like game feel. It's got like really good movement, and is like it's a game that feels better to play the better you get.
I like it when like a company release like you've got here 3 consecutive games, but they get better each time. Like you can almost feel the like improvement as they go along. I always find it very satisfying.
You couldn't have said it better. But my love for them all is why I just can't choose a favorite.
No, that also makes sense to me as well.
Oh. Oops. Okay, that was one bad select warp. Okay, I was meant to go about here, but I got the bad exit because I did it a little too early. But that is totally fine. Otherwise, this has been a good Garibaldi and a good entrance into Tricky at Large. Oh, here's a glitch finish. That's right. I'm going veering off to the right. And then, instead of going the intended way, I'm just gonna do this. Cool, I'm done.
I love that so much. It's just like spin in the air, that's me done.
Yeah, I can just do whatever I want since, like, once you cross that area, it's all just a trip no matter what, so I just do whatever. Now, we're going to enter, like, the section of tracks that's like, oh, what you saw from OG, but how they reimagined them after a year. A fun thing about the series is that it's not just a year in, like, real life, but, like, games like Tricky and, like, 3, the real-life gap between them, like, in terms of time, is also how much in-universe time passed. So, OG released in 2000, this released in 2001, so canonically this takes place, like, a year after.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's same for SSX3. It takes place like 2 years after, and the characters all age appropriately for that, and it's like really good attention to detail.
Yeah, I was about to say this character's the same throughout all 3, but you've answered that there. Yeah, that's awesome.
Tight squeeze uber trick right there. I love doing that one.
Am I right in thinking that the more tricks you do, the more like the tricky bar gets filled up on the right? It looks like that's what's happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
The more uber tricks you do, the more letters you get, and once you get full tricky, right here, I get full boost.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, so
like, yeah. But all the routing for like all ILs, except for a couple which I'll point out, are based around getting all the letters ASAP, so that you can do things like warps and like hold straight lines without having to worry about getting any more boosts. That's the general gameplay loop. Which makes this one, even though OG is already very line intensive, this one's even more somehow. There we go, nice. Alright, that makes Snow Dream. Pretty good one, honestly.
yeah, it's been very smooth.
Yeah, that's a good time. 151 RTA.
Did you say the there's different types of like on the floor, isn't there? Like you were talking about ice and snow and powder. I take it that all follows through to this game as well.
It follows through to each game
as well.
Yes. Yeah. Due to the changing and turning physics, this game requires you to lean more into your turns, so to speak, which is more realistic.
Yeah.
What's it called? Ice is a lot tougher to navigate.
Yeah.
It's much looser turning in this game, but also powder is easier to navigate because you can do things like let go of boost to get sharper turns and like little minute things that really help you optimize your lines.
Yeah.
You see me doing this uber trick a lot, the knack knack, because it is it's one of like the fastest BX board uber tricks, the board I'm using right now. There are a couple different boards. I didn't explain it in OG, but like there's the freestyle board, that's best for tricks. You'll see it a lot in show off whenever people are doing those type of grinds. There's the alpine boards, which are the really long ones that are more focused around speed and like racing. And you'll see like oftentimes Mac, Kaori, or Brody with those in like race grinds. And then there's BX, which is a good balance of the two. Elise is a very, like, she's, like, optimal with the BX boards, but, Zoe is very good, too. Every character has, like, stats that might, influence how their performance is. Some shown, some hidden, like jump stats and acceleration. Those are not shown, but those are things that make Mac and Kaori very good characters in this game. Oh yeah, something I didn't even get to describe is trick canceling. It's something that I like to do a lot, and oh, I warped a little too early. That's okay. That'll happen sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
you just gotta
to me, isn't it? I do it all the time.
Yeah. But like, if I'm like short on boost, you might see me do something like that where I just like I do a trick. Oh, I couldn't quite squeeze him through there. Let's see if I can get around. Nah, not quite. I'll just go around the intended way.
Oh, the intended way in a speedrun. No, I'm joking. It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah? Fortunately, it would just send me right here, so I'm already back on track.
Yeah, we're all enjoying it anyway.
That's all that's important.
Exactly.
Let's see. Yeah, like, you'll see me, like, do things like, do a trick, a standard trick, and then I'll just, like, tweak it, and then the trick will stop instantly, but I'll still be gaining points and, like, gaining boost.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, I'll be doing a lot on, like, tracks that don't use tricky. Like, full tricky. Nice, nice. There we go. That squeezing in through those, like, ice sections is actually pretty... It's a tight jump, so I'm glad I got it.
Oh, GG's great. Also, purple's my favourite colour, so I love the fact that it's... I think it's Zoe, isn't it, wearing purple right now? Love it.
It's my favorite outfit for her in this game, so...
We're the same! Yay!
Yes. Alright, now we're revisiting Mesa Blanca, which got a big uplift in the track design department, in my opinion.
Oh, it's exciting.
Oh, JP. He didn't let me knock him down. Oh. Alrighty.
I love the aggressive pushes at the beginning.
Yep.
Get out of the way!
It's optimal.
Yeah, knockdown! They're gone!
The game, like, encourages it, like, with all the text and everything and how...
Yeah.
Like, it encourages it, but it also tries to discourage it, like, because it introduces a friend system.
Oh, okay.
In which, like, yeah, where, like, if you're, what's it called? If your, like, bond is good with a boarder, then they'll forgive you if you hit them by accident, and, like, they won't hurt you or anything. But, like, if you have an enemy... Yeah, no, if you have an enemy, they will actively hunt you down and, like, seek your downfall. Like, they will throw the race to hurt you.
Oh, I love this. I'm sorry.
I'm dead serious.
Absolutely love this. That's amazing. What a gimmick. I love that. You can make arch enemies with someone, and they really will become your arch enemy. Fabulous.
Yes, and, like, not just that, but this game also has, little cutscenes, like, small character interactions in the beginnings and ends of races, depending on your, like, friendship status. Oh. So, like, if you're, like, friends, like, say, like, Mac and Kaori, they're, like, friends from the start, you'll see them, like, say cute things, like, how they want to, like, maybe, like, try and go get something to eat after this or something like that. But, but if you're, like, Kaori, who, like, hates Simon, Then she'll literally say he needs to take a bath.
Just casual insults flying out. I love it. Oh, that's a really cute gimmick. It probably makes everybody feel like part of the gang, I guess. Okay.
Absolutely.
Part of the experience, isn't it? That's awesome.
With things like that, I hit a small little light. It ate my jump. But with things like that, and with like writer interviews, which you can also find in like their biographies section, this game does a lot to make them feel the most like people.
Oh, that's awesome. I love a game that gives you all the lore. I love lore.
Exactly.
Tell me more about everyone. Do we get your...
Honestly, I could, but it'll take forever.
Do you get your favourite track from the first game in this one redone, or is it just the first game?
Oh yes.
Oh, awesome.
Pipe Dream and Untracked are both in this game.
Oh, awesome.
Alright, let me get this tricky routing down. This one can be volatile. Okay, we're good.
Bonus. I get too greedy
You'll see
in these
them
games when I'm jumping and I'm like doing tricks. I'm trying to fit in 500 tricks before I land and then flop.
Trust me, I still do that. Like, when you get better at the games, you start thinking you can get away with more, and sometimes you still can't. Alright. There's an it's an intended secret shortcut coming up. This is one that not many people know about.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's right after this select warp, and hopefully I will not botch it. This is a really good pace thus far, though, I must admit.
I feel like we're flying through the games. You're going to be starting the third one before I know it. I'm loving it, though. I love that alien spaceship in the distance, too.
Yeah, what if we went into it?
Oh, yay!
Oh, wow! We just skipped like 20 seconds of the track!
Oh, wow!
Oh,
Everyone's
wow.
going to think we planned that, but we genuinely didn't. That was genuine. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that
was genuine me being like, ooh, a spaceship. And like, we're going there.
Yeah, that's the main gimmick of this version of the track.
I can see why.
Right.
It's awesome. These don't look so awesome.
These those are a bit finicky because their gimmick is they operate on random speeds at random cycles.
Yay.
So they're never quite the same when you're running into them.
Making your life difficult.
Basically, there's a lot that makes this IL a toughie.
Yeah. I think it's like you were saying before, it's like RNG related as well, isn't it? It's like you can't plan it into just what you get, isn't it? Hot luck.
Yeah, but if you're like consistent enough, you're usually able to like maneuver around them, like and like pre-plan when you're like looking at them in the distance. But obviously that requires a lot of like pre-planning and like improvisation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was doable.
Nice
Alrighty.
though.
Now on to this game's version of Tokyo Megaplex. Still big pinball aesthetic, and you're still gonna see the pin right out the gate. But what's different is that this one has less RNG. What it trades for it is pretty tough pipe sections.
Okay.
Like you'll see what I mean right here.
Oh, okay.
Those pipes, get used to them.
Okay.
Those are the lines.
We're gonna see a lot of them.
Yes.
Oh, that was nice though. I see.
Yeah, you're gonna see me do a lot of tap boosting here. Not because I need to, but just to control my speed and maneuvering here.
Still reminds me of Fall Guys. Giving big Fall Guys vibes still.
If I missed that button, I'll just hit this one instead. But yeah, no, I'm glad this reminds you of Fall Guys because like Fall Guys is such a silly little game, and like
it's the doors
yeah,
and the pipes and the like circles to go through. It's very akin, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah.
I think so as well. So between us, we're just gonna decide, yeah, it's Fall Guys with extra steps. No,
Fall Guys on boards,
yeah.
You know.
Hey, Fall Guys,
All
donate,
right, this...
donate to our charity, Fall Guys. Please, thank you.
This is basically all the track is at this point. You've seen the first lap, and like since there's less RNG, it's basically, and like I have full boost now. It's basically just about nailing it. Oh, and not missing that button twice. That's okay. I'm gonna nail it the third time. There's also this cheese block right here, which I like to call because that can happen, or even worse can happen. It can like completely upend you and just like toss you up into the air, like 15 miles into the air. Alright, now let's see if I can get a good third lap that doesn't miss that button.
First place.
Oh no.
Oh,
okay. That still works.
That works really well, actually.
Oh my goodness, these cycles are not what they're supposed to be. The riders are getting in the way. The door was open, and like that pinball thing was open as well. Those threw me for a loop. But otherwise, not too bad.
Nice. Nice.
Alrighty. Now we're in the final stretch. A couple more tracks, like 4 more tracks. And then we're on to SSX 3.
So excited. It's going so fast.
Yeah, it goes very fast when you're actually going through it. Like, normally, I wouldn't say I'd have the endurance for long runs, but like, doing something like this, especially where it's constantly switching, it just feels like it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. I need like the constant change to keep me going sometimes.
Yep. Alright. This game's version of Aloha Ice Jam. This version has a couple wormholes, which I haven't really touched on, because like I'm not doing them in this run, but like they're where you exit the bounds of the track and keep falling until you're able to select warp and you skip a large portion of the track. So what makes this version of Aloha Ice Jam interesting is that it has standard wormholes. Oops. It has standard wormholes, but then it also has track-to-track wormholes, which are... Okay, I still got in. That's all I care about. It's like, it has track-to-track wormholes where you exit the bounds of the track, but then you fall so far that you land back within them. So like you would see like even in like no wormhole runs, you would see that being used and whatnot. But for the purposes of just like showing off the entire track, I decided I'll just do it without the track-to-track, without any of that.
I see chat are talking about there's a penguin with that waddles in this level, I believe.
Yes, I believe in both versions there are penguins that you can find.
Oh, that is cute.
There's a little text blurb even in like OG when you're like loading into different tracks. There's sometimes notes that like give you tips and whatnot. One of them says that if you're seeing penguins in Aloha Ice Jam, you're not saving time. That's what it says.
I quite like that. So sadly, we won't see any on the speedrun.
Unfortunately, no penguins this time around.
We sacrificed the penguins for speed, and that's okay. We're on a speedrun after all. We're on a marathon after all.
Yes. Now, this track is one of the hardest, definitely. Let me see if I can... Nah, the route I have to take diverges here. I'll just use some tweak cancels to build up some more boosts. For this area right here, this is the toughie.
And this looks like it's all ice as well, right? Making it harder to control.
Ooh, I didn't get a jump out. That's okay.
So close though.
It would send me about right here. Yeah. Yeah, it would send me right about like to the upper left version of this path right here.
It seems like a quite kind game if like you make a little tiny mistake, it doesn't send you too far back, or I don't know, I could be very wrong there. Genie's gonna be like, actually.
Well, actually, no, I'm kidding.
You like rage quit at it sometimes. It's like, no!
Tricky, especially, is a lot more forgiving with exits. For select warps, but OG, they're still getting the hang of it. There are a lot of really bad select warp exits. Some that like send you backwards in the track, like the donut rail section of Mercury City. There's some that like literally turn you around for some unknown reason. I've seen one that literally just turned me around. And I've seen ones that like put me like they like literally drop you off right in an off limits section.
Oh, they're lovely. How kind of them. Oh my goodness.
Here, let me give something a shot.
Whoa!
Awesome, I actually got
Beautiful. I hope those people are on their way to hospital. Poor NPCs.
Not reaching just because I didn't have red boost there. That's okay though. If I had red with that lineup, that definitely would have made it inside, but it would have just dropped me off right here.
Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah, that's how good the tweet cancels are. If I'm ever just at absolutely nothing, I can just do that.
That is really good. Oh, nice.
Yeah, just a small little warp I can squeeze out right there. And the rest of this track is incredibly simple. It's literally just straightaways. And since I don't have Tricky at this point, I'm just going to be path boosting through it like I would in OG.
Are does anybody know if the tricks involved are actually real snowboarding tricks, or are they all made up for the game? Do you know by any chance?
I actually, since I've played like a bunch of other extreme sports games passively, like Freak Style or like 1080 Avalanche and like whatnot, I see, and Splashdown. I have to do obligatory shout out Splashdown and Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. But they use a lot of the same tricks. So I believe that like what the case is that this game likely just took from what's it called? Like they likely just took from like other extreme sports and then like use the tricks where you like take your feet off and like
kind of like adapted them to fit.
Like that makes sense. Basically. Okay, a 354. Nice. Given my mistakes, that could have gone a lot worse. Alright, this is the bottleneck of the run, the big bottleneck, Tricky Pipe Dream. It's got an insanely high score requirement, so I'm gonna be doing my best and really...
You've got this. We're all enjoying it and nevertheless, really that's all that matters, but you've got this.
Thank you. Alright, let's see if I can start this off strong. Oh, missed the ×2 plate. Okay though.
I love the sounds, they just remind me like a video arcade.
Yeah, the sound design of this series is just so good. Alright, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time in this half pipe right here.
Is this level focused on like you're using your like tricky boost, or just tricks in general?
Yeah, this one's just more intended around just doing big tricks and like getting the score requirement. The goal for this is 800,000. So
Whoa.
I'm about halfway right now.
Yeah. I think these levels are sometimes my favourite ones, where you can just do little tricks and go off by yourself almost.
They're a lot of fun. Alright. Alright, that helps quite a lot. And now, there's one more flake I need to hit. Alright, just a little bit short, so...
Just getting those extra points right at the end.
Yep. And
Nice.
that can go a lot worse. Like, so much worse.
Well done. I feel like that was
Yeah,
pretty quick.
Honestly, I'm grateful for that, because I've had times where, like, I've had to restart at the very end because I missed all the flakes. I've had times... I had one run yesterday when practicing where I finished with 795k.
Oh no! Oh, that's heartbreaking. So close.
I know. But now we get to do this game's version of Untracked.
Exciting.
Alright. This version is a little bit shorter. And it has a section with, yeah, it has an ice cave section. It is an OG, but it's not as fast. But in this version, no wormhole, I'm taking it. And then there's a huge, like, big bumpy forest section at the end, which is a huge run killer.
Oh,
like,
no.
not in run, like, I wouldn't say not in, like, this run specifically, but it can be a huge run killer in ILs for sure.
Yeah. This looks very, very similar to the last game's version. I like it. The mountains.
Same song too.
Yeah. Feel like we were in Switzerland looking over the beautiful mountains. Look. We're all on holiday.
Very nice shot. Let me squeeze. Oh no, I was about to squeeze an Uber trick there, but I didn't get enough height, so I was just like, nah, never mind.
See, that's where I'd go wrong, because I'd be like, come on, quick, get it in, and then flop.
Alright, here it is. Actual ice and Untracked. I know. Then I warp out.
I love some of these.
And now there's a
that one of those was called
yeah.
Swiss cheese. How amazing!
Yeah, there's
Like
they got things like Swiss cheese, chicken salad, Canadian bacon, whatever you can think of.
oh, I love it! I love it. That's amazing. Nice.
All right, and now we're just at the big forest section, which I'll try my best with.
I was about to say, you're clipping through these trees. And then... Awesome.
Okay, all in all, the forest section was nice to me.
Nice. Oh, and you're heading towards a chopper? Okay, cool.
It's the chopper that drops you in the beginning.
Oh, okay, I see.
Alrighty, a 229. Oh shoot, that's good.
Let's go.
That's very good, actually.
Nice.
My PB is like a 225.
Oh, nice. That was
normal,
very
so.
close there. What's your PB for all three runs together? You don't.
I got a 133.49 recently.
GG. I assume you're probably... Are you swapping games right now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
SSX 3 is loading in right now.
Can I jump in with a couple of announcements, if that's okay?
Absolutely.
Lovely. So I just wanted to remind everybody here, this game has made me think, the snow, and it made me think of the holidays. So I want to tell you about No Holidays Allowed. So if you're watching this event and you want to get involved in our next one, be on the lookout for news about No Holidays Allowed. The event is open to all kinds of speedruns and showcases that runners have to offer, not just glitchless runs. We're looking forward to showing off some amazing speedruns to watch as you bundle up by the campfire this winter. Maybe looking on the beautiful snow like we've been doing in this game. Who knows, hey? So if you'd like to get involved, make sure you keep an eye out. Particularly, I know Twitter is one of the best places I keep my eye out to hear updates from No Glitches Allowed and No Holidays Allowed. Also, exclamation point donate in the chat to donate to our fantastic charity. Really worthy cause. Couldn't be prouder to hear today than supporting Somos Familia Valia. Based let me try that again, shall I? Get my words in a twist. A community-based organisation created and led by local low-income first-generation college students who are LGBTQ plus people of colour in the San Fernando Valley area in San Fernando, California. How are we getting on? Are we loaded? Let me look. Oh, we look ready.
Yeah, we're just about loaded.
I like the graphics.
Yeah, SSX3 went for a more sleek, subdued design, like more modern version of what futuristic would look like relative to tricky.
I got very excited about Zoe's wings. They're awesome.
Oh yeah, I put them on.
Oh, they're so cool. I want a pair of my own.
This game has this game does a lot that like excellently compounds upon like previously established things in the series. For example, this game it opts to be a lot more movement heavy. Like, it's all about good movement. The lines are important too, but like what's more important now is that you know how to move well, and you know how to like act in any kind of situation to like maximize your speed, because things like that can happen. That's a slide. A slide is where you what's it called? Yeah, you see that like okay, here, let me back up a little bit. The reason slides are so good is because in this game the fastest ways to move are by either falling, being on rails, or by spinning like that. Like, that's a spin boost, where I like spin as I land, and the carve out animation increases my speed a little bit. The reason slides are so good is because if you do it correctly, you start falling in areas where you normally don't, and that maximizes your speed.
I really like how they did like the colours when you land, like you're letting off like a little bit of like almost like a pink glow with Zoe as you jump in, like, if you know what I mean. And I like when like you jumped on a rail, it was very clear. Like I like that. I like that little change, I guess.
Yeah, the way this game works is that there are letters that like make the different tiered Uber tricks.
I see there
so
now.
the words like the letters Uber, for example, they're the tier 1 Uber tricks. Like the regular grabs are tier 0, obviously. They're the ones where you only take 1 foot off the board, and the tricks that each rider gets are kind of like, for tier 1 specifically, they're bound to them. Like, you can't change them or anything.
I like that.
Meanwhile, the tier 2 Uber tricks are the ones where you do the big bombastic tricks, both feet off the board, and those you can customize however you want for everyone.
Yeah.
So the idea is to do 4 tier 1 Ubers, and then you do 5 tier 2 Uber tricks, and you time it correctly, because when you get full super Uber, you get a minute of infinite boost. They had to nerf it because this is all one big mountain. If you just got full infinite boost, it would just break the game.
Yeah, I can imagine, actually.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how, like, did you say there was a year difference between 1 and 2, and then 2 years difference to this? Because it's quite a miraculous, like, graphic difference, in my opinion. It really improves.
Yes, it did. This game has, like, oh, I got a bad spawn. This track has, like, booths that have, like, RNG exits.
Got you.
And the one I got was a bad exit. That's just bad luck.
RNG! Okay. Come on, work with us. Yeah, I think the railings look like they're a lot easier on this one, actually. I don't know if that's the truth.
I would say yes and no. Like, getting on them can be harder, but when you're on them, and like you're not getting off, and like you can do a lot of things to like influence. Oh, I missed the select warp path. I'll just take regular. But like, what's it called? I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. It's me asking you.
No, like,
you're in your room.
Don't even worry about it. I'm having too much fun. That's why.
Yeah, it's just have too much fun.
There we go. Oh, I remember what I was saying. Yeah, you can do a lot more on rails, like rail Ubers. You can do those, which influence the direction your board is angled when you're on the board. And also, they just serve as Uber tricks too. So they're just very nice all around.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the colours are a lot better in this game as well. I don't know if that makes sense. It just seems...
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I like it.
Oh, it's still sub 2.
Let's go!
With like bad first boost and like... Yeah, I'm content with that. Okay. Now I'm gonna go into R&B. The way I'm structuring this is that, like, I want to do every event, both race and freestyle, on each peak, because that's how this game is. You can just go and like take it however you want. They have individualized tracks for each. I'm gonna do all the events on a peak, and then I'm going to do the backcountry track, which is like the top of the mountain. And I'm going to race through it. You can race or trick through it, but I'm gonna race through it since this run has an emphasis on speed while doing all the tracks. Alright. Zoe accidentally bonked something. But we're good.
She's got wings, she'll be fine.
Yeah, you know?
I like that they flap in the wind as well.
They do.
Sorry, I'm obsessed with these wings, look. These wings are beautiful. I want my own pair.
Something you'll see me exploit a lot here in like the freestyle events is monster tricks. What they are is like specific tricks you do by like angling your board, like doing your doing specific turns, just specific grabs. And when you do them, you get like more points than you would have just for doing a regular trick otherwise. And they're very cool, but they're like secret, and as a result, the game wasn't really balanced around it. Which means you can spam them a lot, and like you'll just instantly beat an event.
Oh, nice! I like that. I see. Come up with the monster trick. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the monster trick, growl, lightning strike sound effect. You get used to it. Oh, I already know my score requirement is good for this.
Nice.
But I might as well squeeze. Oh, I tried to squeeze out one more. That's what I get.
I think I see that when your score goes like green, does that mean you've hit the requirement for that run by any chance? It was like adding to it an event and then suddenly became green. I was just wondering.
You know, I actually don't fully know. I haven't paid attention to them.
No, it's just I'm intensely watching. I'll keep an eye on it in the next one and see whether it starts off by going in green. May have just found another mechanic. Oh, it's always green. Never mind.
Oh yeah, it
never
just does
mind.
That all the time, yeah. Oh.
I thought I was on to something.
Oh. I got some flubs in there. Let's do this again.
Nice.
There we go.
Have you played all 3 of these games today on the PlayStation 2?
Correct.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There we go.
Oh, that was fast. Nice.
Yeah, so the way this game works is that there's slope style, which is the first one, the big track that I was trying to like race through while getting the points. There's Big Air, which was that event, Crow's Nest, where all you have to do is one big jump, get as much high score as you can. And then there's this Super Pipe, pretty self-explanatory. Thing is, though, as I said, Monster Tricks ripped them all wide open, and like Peak 3 especially, I mean Peak 1 especially is like the easiest, because it's the beginner peak. So you really don't have a lot to worry about in regards to score requirements. As you can see, I'm already done.
Easy. Nice. I do like how at the beginning of each level, it's been on all three, I think all three of them, and it said like the difficulty level of them and the slope. I was reading them all, I was like, oh, that's interesting, I like it.
Yes, I believe they do that.
Yeah, the
right here.
And the vertical drop. Of course.
I'm a fan of that too. I like extra little tidbits of lore.
Yeah, me too. I love that. The more lore, the better. The more info, the better. I love it.
Okay, so for context, as I said, this is a backcountry track, the top of the peak, and there are 3 peaks in the game, each going in progressively higher difficulty. And the story for them, quote-unquote story, is that when you beat a rider who claims that like the peak belongs to them, in Peak 1's case, it's Mac, ironically enough. Like, so if he won the bid war, it would be Griff, a different kid. But generally speaking, once you beat like all like let's say race events, then Mac will be like, I challenge you to a race to prove you're actually the best on Peak 1.
Ooh.
Because my ego is fragile, and like that's what they all do, you know?
Yeah.
So like they'll do that for the races, and if you beat all the freestyle events, then they'll do that for the freestyle events too. They'll be like, I challenge you to trick off at the top of the mountain.
Do you still have like the enemies or friends aspect as well from like the second game?
It has enemies, but it doesn't really have friends.
Interesting.
Unfortunately. Yeah, it's like
you can't make friends.
Yeah, you can't make friends in this game. This game slightly dialed back the what's it called? The character aspect.
Yeah.
Like, of course, this game still has tons of character, tons and tons of it, but it doesn't have like things like interviews. It has like small Q&A sections and whatnot, but it doesn't have things like interviews or like places where you can like see interactions, like small little interactions between the characters.
It's more focused on like the tricks and the gameplay by the looks of things, isn't it? Than the I guess the story.
Yeah, like I would say mostly focused on the like making like a coherent open world but still arcadey snowboarding experience, and it excels at that. It's like one of the best feeling snowboarding games I've ever played.
Yeah, it looks amazing. The version that I played in that Travel Agents all those years ago was definitely not as good as this. Must have been the first one or something very similar, I can imagine. Nice.
Alrighty.
Nice.
That's all of Peak 1. Now I'm going to menu very slowly here because I think my disc might have some like crashing issues sometimes with the menuing. It's a very old disc. Alright, let's see if this works, hopefully. Okay, yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna have to do the same thing when I finish the Peak 2 tracks on the Peak 3. I have no idea why it happens. SSX 3 be crashing sometimes, but my disc is also old, which doesn't help.
Junior, it's clearly you're too fast. The game's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Alright, this is Peak 2. Tracks start getting a little bit more intermediate in difficulty here. But luckily they're still not too bad. The stress I'm taking with them anyhow.
Nice. I love all these like secret little routes that get you over quicker and things. It's very like interesting.
Yeah, this game series is like so good at that.
Like
making multiple routes.
Everything. All the routes and knowing which is the best and quickest to take.
this is another alternate route, but this one I'm going to be hitting a warp that just converges me back onto the main path.
Nice.
And now let's see if I can nail this right here. Oh, just a bit too far to the right. If I was a little bit further to the left, I would have been able to, like, go out of bounds just a little bit and then warp out. Just a small time save.
I also love, I haven't mentioned that you can go through the adverts and just crash through them. I love that. Take them on.
Yeah, structural integrity
Like,
is just a
bang
suggestion.
that down. Who needs the advert?
Alright, and that's the last warp.
Must have taken ages to remember these different routes and things. I can imagine, Junior.
Honestly, yeah, it was like this run at large is something that I wanted to do for a while since I like started learning like OG, the first one.
Yeah.
But there's so much to learn, especially in 3. This one definitely has the most room for like optimization.
Ooh, there's a good question in chat for you, Junior. They say if they made a new SSX game, would you prefer it to be more like tricky or more like 3?
Oh, that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
Thank you, chat.
Let me think. Oh, while I think, I'm going to introduce this skip coming up right here. Big skip. This one is an RNG skip. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, not quite. You angle yourself off like that, and like, only when it like decides to work, basically, do you get like a really good forward pull. That's like one of the few things that hasn't been fully discovered in this game, how to get consistently. Anyhow, I feel like SSX... Dang, that's really hard. SSX 3 has a lot of like really good to it, and I think it's like arguably some of like the best feeling movement once you really get it down. But I really like how tricky it's just like a bunch of like disconnected levels, because like even though like the current like gaming market is more towards like open world stuff, I have a love for like separated ILs and stuff too.
No, I can completely relate.
I guess
it's
a mixture is what I would want,
isn't it? And a set path. No, I get it.
Also, I was talking during it, but I just did tube skip, which you can imagine what it skips. It skips a big tube by using a couple good select warps. And then I'm just going to do a little off limits right here. Skip a small spiral.
Oh, nice. Very convenient off limits.
Right. Extremely. And now there's a big old forest here. That tree right there, right after the fence, it's supposed to fall over. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But it's faster when it does, but you know, sometimes it's just feeling a little too sturdy.
I feel like we're flying through this. How long, how much more have you got left of this last game, Junior? Do you know?
I'd say we're about halfway, because like, now we've got, the freestyle tracks in Peak 2, and then the backcountry track, and then Peak 3, and then that's it.
Oh my gosh, it's coming up really fast. It's been very exciting.
Yeah, you can really get lost in just kind of doing everything when you do this run, I feel anyway. Now this is the Peak 2's version of the slope style, a little bit harder, but score requirement isn't really much in the way of monster tricks still. Oh, whoops. Actually, let me restart real quick. Expected to land on that rail.
Got a couple of people in chat just saying hello. We've got a cheers from Finland.
I appreciate that. I actually have the stream open on my second monitor. I haven't looked at it though.
It's hard though when you're focused on a run. I completely get it. Like, yeah, it's hard. It's sometimes nice to have someone able to read it out, actually, isn't it?
Okay, the score requirement's been met.
Let's go.
2 monster tricks plus a ×10 multiplier. It's over.
Nice.
And now I can just race through the rest.
Snowboard Supercross, more like speed extreme. Is there a member of our lovely chat has said? I love it. I can't take credit for that. I'm sorry, chat. I won't take credit for your things. I promise.
Oh, I just went right over that rail. Like I said, the rails in this game are largely very good, but like getting onto them can sometimes be hard. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but personally for me, tricky rails are like the most agreeable.
Yeah.
Like, they're hard to get off, but like that's it. Okay, that's actually a good style now.
Nice.
Alright, time for launch time. The Peak 2 Big Air event. Now, this one is, honestly not too bad. Like, the Big Air events really aren't that long or tough, unless you're, like, really grinding for, like, high scores, in which that case, yeah, they're incredibly optimized, but for the purposes of just reaching a gold, yeah. There we go.
Nice.
We get tier 2 right for this. Lean off, do a couple monster tricks, and we're good.
Beautiful. Oh, look at that 7 times combo. Woohoo!
Yeah, the combos in this game help a lot. Like, if I'm ever like doing a slope style or like any sort of big what's it called, freestyle event, you'll see me try and really like rack up the combos because they help ridiculously.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right, this is Peak 2 Super Pipe named Schizophrenia.
Oh.
EA Radio Big. Most requested artist by our SSX competitors. Without a doubt, it's a fan who like Johnny Morgan. He is.
All right.
I really love the purple and pink colours they've got, like, lighting up the track.
They're very nice.
Like whoa! 8 times combo. Woo! What's the highest combo you've got to?
That combo counter can go up insanely high.
Really?
Like, ridiculously high. Like, so it's really hard to kind of like quantify off the top of my head. I probably hit like 75 at one point.
Really? Wow. Oh, wow.
But like, you can keep going like really high. Like, and there are also like rail glitches, which I haven't really been, I believe. Yeah, oh, it's like this ruthless. There are rail glitches where you can like go on a rail. You'll see this done a lot in like the SSX 3 like high score event, like high scores rather. You'll see people do like nose presses. You'll be seeing them spam nose presses all over rails, like while going on them really slowly. And the reason they do that is because it spams like spams the combo counter, and it like makes it rise really high and like inflates your like combo score afterwards, like exponentially. So like when you see like scores in SSX 3, sometimes you'll have to see rail glitches or no rail glitches to like look for what you're looking for.
Oh, it's snowing.
But yeah, this is the Peak 2, what's it called? The Peak 2 Backcountry Ruthless. It's a lot more like, or a lot less structurally sound, as I'm sure you can see. right? You're gonna see a lot more of that here.
Very Indiana Jones-esque. Things falling, rolling after you. They're going to be a ball rolling after you in the next race. I'd love that.
Well, there was an avalanche chasing us in Happiness,
See?
Peak 1 backcountry.
See?
So, you know, you might be on something there.
Did they... I take it that they didn't release any more SSX after this one?
No, they did.
They did.
They released
Okay.
like 3 more.
Okay, got
Oh,
you.
this didn't get it. No, not
I'm
quite.
sorry.
I was trying waterfall skip. No, that wasn't on you. That was just something that like my consistency isn't perfect with
No,
yet.
I know that.
But what's it called?
They did release more games.
They have, yeah. There's SSX on Tour, which released right after this one, and it got met with like mixed reviews. I would say. There's still diehard fans of it though, and I still think it's a pretty alright
Yeah.
game, even though I don't speedrun
Yeah.
it. There's SSX Blur. No one talks about SSX Blur. No one likes SSX Blur.
Didn't happen.
Like-
Okay, yep.
Yeah, it's the Wii version. Like it was in that era where the Wii games were like all gimmick motion control
Oh
stuff.
gosh, I could imagine that would be a bit of a nightmare for this game actually.
Yeah, and all it was just rehashed things from SSX 3 and on tour. So like with like really hard to perform Uber tricks and whatnot too. So it was very liked, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it was like the beginning of the series decline, unfortunately. And then after some years, at 2012 release, SSX 2012, it was meant to be like a reboot of sorts. And it's a good game. It's just it has its own like subsection of community, I would say,
Okay.
just because while it's fun and like no one dislikes it or anything, it's just different. It went a completely different direction, and it was like originally looking so realistic that like fan outcry about how realistic it looked made it more like cartoony in turn, arcadey in turn. Like that's how realistic they were going, because like it was taking place on real mountains. They were trying to focus on like environmental hazards, like real environmental hazards, like dark light or like avalanches and whatnot, being the main gimmick. Thus, like the tagline, "Deadly Descents."
Yeah.
That was its original name, SSX Deadly Descents.
That's interesting.
Oh, okay,
Uh-oh?
okay. There's your never happened before in SSX 3.
Where's the bingo sheet ticking off?
But yes, this is the beginning of Peak 3. This is Gravitude, the only racetrack, and the reason for that is because Peak 3, the pull, like the big pull of it, is that it's peak races. Like I said, how Peak 1 wants you to like go like do races with like the rival, but what I didn't mention is that after you beat the rival, then they'll challenge you in a race from the top of the peak to like the bottom of Metro City, which is like the last track on the mountain. And then Peak 2 does the same thing. It start from Peak 2 and then go all the way to the bottom of the mountain, bottom of Metro City. So the big pull of Peak 3 is that you go from the entire, like the top of the entire mountain. Oh, I didn't quite get the jump I wanted. That's okay. You go from like the tippy top of the mountain to like the very bottom of it. Like that's its main pull. That's why it only has like one race, because you're like either whether you're racing or like doing trick events, they want you to like go down the entire mountain.
See.
Oh, some things aren't working out. This grab,
It's alright.
that's okay.
It's fine. Gives us some more time to enjoy the game. That's what you do, really.
True enough.
Chat are talking about... I was actually thinking myself earlier about Mario Kart and how some of these tracks sometimes feel like they could be a Mario Kart track. But chat are saying the Mario Kart course designers might actually be able to design mountains for SSX to work off. I thought that'd be really cool.
It's actually funny that's said, because there's been modding done in like Mario Kart Wii that has like ported an SSX track in it. I remember that.
Oh, that's cool.
I can't remember which track off the top
I think
of my head.
I've got an idea
but
of what one it is, but I don't know the name of the tracks very well. I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I forget right now though, so I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna just start rambling. But yeah, there has been work of like putting SSX tracks in like Mario Kart and whatnot. Oh, Mac just narrowly avoided me. Okay, this is the kicked out the Peak 3 slope style event. I might just have to rock with Mac avoiding me if he really wants to. And then get my 4 letters here. Oops, I didn't get an Uber or a monster trick out. That's alright.
It's fine.
The score requirement for this one, since it's the final peak, is obviously the highest. So there's like, in the routing I have to actually like worry about my points for this one just a little bit. As it stands right now, I'm a little bit short. Wow, that landed.
I'm so intently watching right now, I don't want to disturb you.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to like
Focus.
salvage the points I
get
lost.
Do you have a favourite character? I'm not sure if you already told me. Between the 3 that you had the bid war on, out of curiosity.
Okay, we're good now. Everyone who's watched my streams knows that KRE is like a personal favorite of mine. That said, I'm still a huge fan of Mac as well. He's the one I played the most when I was young. Okay, we're good. Getting the 10 times multiplier. That's the one the route is really optimized around, but I like to try to go for the first 10 times just for safety.
Yeah.
Alright, but yeah, no, I love KRE and Mac. They're like my favorites in like... Because like, they're veterans, they're in like every single game. You see them grow and change and whatnot. And I love KRE's like positivity and like optimism and stuff, but I also love... What I love about Mac is that he's just annoyingly cocky and bombastic. And like, he just annoys people. And I love that so much.
There's always one.
There's always one, you know? Like, he's so young, so his whole gimmick is, I'm going to be loud and like, all that to make up for my young nature and my small stature and stuff. Alright. Alright, we're good now.
Getting some lovely height on that.
Yeah, and it's over already. I like that one.
Quick and easy, I love it.
And all that's left now is Perpendiculous, the Peak 3 Super Pipe, and then we ended off with the Throne, aptly named since it's the top of the entire mountain, the Peak 3 backcountry.
Cool. Is that just 2 left then? 2 kind of races?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't believe how fast this has gone. I've been enjoying myself.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Junior. Exactly, exactly. Great minds think alike. We're on the same wavelength then. Having far too much fun. Are they supposed to be fireworks, by the way, at the beginning of each race thing?
Oh yeah.
I thought so. I just thought I'd check. Nice.
Oh, didn't get my spin or flips out for the second one. That's okay. Like I said, you're gonna get used to hearing that over and over. The monster trick sound effect. They really do just play it every time you do a monster trick. Okay, just one more jump for good measure, and we're good. Alright, now all that's left is the throne, and time is when I reach the bottom
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh, I can't believe we're already nearly at time.
I know, it goes by very fast. Like, even sometimes when I'm doing this run, I'm like, when I'm done, I'm just like, oh, I really just played through every level in the trilogy, like the original trilogy. It like surprises me
Yeah.
even, 'cause just how fast it goes.
You've made awesome time as well so far. I don't want to like put that pressure on you right now, though. Sorry. Probably the
thanks.
worst thing I could say is
No.
right at the end, but I know.
I haven't really been focusing that hard on my time. I've
Yeah.
just been like focusing on talking and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's the best thing to do, though, isn't it? Sometimes I get really worried about it if I start thinking too much. Or if I can see the splits, I'm awful. I was like, no.
That's very real. Okay, since the run's about to end, real quick, I'll just plug that you can find me on twitch.tv/
You're taking my job.
junior_SM.
I was going to ask you to do this in a minute. No, I'm joking. Sorry, go on.
Okay, yeah, I'm usually streaming one of these SSX games. If it's like something like OG, where I've already like learned the large chunk of it, I'm likely going to be doing like world record grinds of some sort. If it's like SSX Tricky, I'd probably be like either getting my times down to like contend world records, or just learning more stuff about it, since I still have more to learn. And the same is the case for this game. I'm still learning a lot, but you know, that's part of the fun.
It's definitely all part of the fun, isn't it?
Absolutely. I have a lot of fun playing these games, and that's what's important. Alright, let me see if I can Timby skip. This is a skip right here. Cool, I got it. It's called Timby skip because it was found by a person named Timby. And it just skips a huge portion of like the fall, so to speak. Alright, time's coming up right here in like 2 seconds. And time.
Nice. Let me refresh stream. I can give you time.
Alrighty.
Unless you can see it already.
Wait. Let me see
I think
if I
it's
can see
1:35,
Oh.
28 by the looks of things. 29.
it. Well done.
That is
I'm happy with that.
awesome. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. I am going to go and download the game. I'm sure somebody said it was on Xbox. Maybe it's on the Game Pass. I'm going straight down there to go and download this game because it looks so much fun. And I know you were just doing a shout out, but do shout yourself out again, Junior, because it's been so fantastic to have you here. Where can people
Okay.
find you?
As I said, I'm usually around on like twitch.tv junior_SM, usually streaming one of these SSX games. Yeah, my schedule isn't the most consistent because like I'm also like a college student and whatnot, but like whenever I have time, I'm usually making time to play these games because like
Yeah.
I will play them like stream or not. I love this series to death. I'll shout out what's it called? I'll shout out you for hosting alongside me. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I also want to shout out Oz for convincing me to submit to this at all.
I'm really glad
Like,
Oz
he's-
did convince you to submit to this because it's been so much fun.
Yeah, I was just like cause like I was so busy with work before. I was just doing busy stuff and I wasn't really grinding at the time. And then he asked, and then I decided to join, and that got my fire back. So I'm grateful.
No, thank you very much. It's been absolutely awesome, and I'm sure that you need to go and take a drink and snack break after that fabulous run. And thank you to all your community as well that have been really hyping up in chat. Really appreciate you all. You've been great and fantastic. But thank you very much, Junior. I think we're going to pop to a quick transmission screen. I've got a couple of announcements to make to you while we're getting our next runs up and running. Thanks again, Junior. You've been fab.
Thank you for having me.
Hello there, friends. Wasn't that a absolute fantastic run that we had there by Junior? Thank you so much, all of you, for being fantastic sports during that run. You were amazing, chat. And not only that, but we raised a bit of money as well for our fantastic cause today. Now, just before I go, we have a lovely anonymous $20 donation that came in. Couldn't thank you more, Anonymous, and I think Junior 100% deserves that recognition as well of how fantastic it was. Now, unfortunately, this is where I'm going to leave you this evening, much to my demise, but however, I am going to be back tomorrow. I'll be starting off tomorrow's day of the marathon as a host, and also on Sunday as well, the final day, I'll be starting off as host there, so I will be back. But thank you for having me. It has been an absolute pleasure. Remember to get those donations involved in to support Somos Familia Valia. Really important charity. I am really proud to be here. Thanks for having me, but without further ado, I'm going to pass over to the lovely Mod, who's going to be your host for the next couple of runs. Thanks again. See you later. Over to you, Mod.
Hello, friends of speedrunning and everything Completithon. My name is MOD366, or Mod for short. I'll be your host for the upcoming 3 runs. We are looking forward to seeing Sonic Rush Adventure as the next run here. We still have an incentive open for, well, after my shift, but you know, it's my job now that this gets met. So we have the Fez character, what was it? The Sonic sprite replacement, right? So let's replace some sprites in the game Fez with Sonic sprites, because A, why not? And B, Sonic makes things fast, and that's what we want to see, fast stuff. So let's get your donations in. We are sitting at $56. I can read, I can do math. And we need 150, so we are $94 off. Please get your donations in for that, and if you donate, please do select that goal to put your money towards, otherwise it doesn't count. It still helps our charity, Somos Familia Valle, but it doesn't count for the incentive. So, as I said, get your donations in now, and select the incentive that you want the money to go towards, otherwise the money will help, but not the thing that you want to see. So while we are still setting up, now's your chance to get some refreshments, stretch your legs, but don't go too far because we will be back shortly. while we are still setting up for the next run, just another reminder that we are here raising funds for Somos Familia Valle. Their website has a variety of programs for you to partake in. This includes monthly meetings for multiple support groups, including women of color over the age of 18, LGBTQ+ youth, and allies ages 12 to 17, and queer and trans men of color over the age of 18, all of which are free services. While we get set up for the next run, please go check out their calendar at somosfamiliavalle.org/calendar if you or anyone you know is interested in these support groups.
forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy.
Sorry again to interrupt you vibing to the wonderful music we have here during our intermission, but thank you all for watching Completithon. Completithon is a charity event dedicated to completionist speedruns. This includes 100% all collectibles or even categories where you collect all of a specific collectible, such as all red berries or all shrines, just to name a few. If you're interested in getting involved or finding out more, make sure to join our Discord and follow us on Twitter to get updates about future events.